Train is finally back in professional Counter-Strike play. First match was played by the Shanghai Major Winners Team Spirit. I'm going to break down and analyze how they played this match against Fnatic on the new version of Train. Let's get into it. So Team Spirit start on CT side. Okay, so initially it looks like Donk is starting on E-box. We have quite a passive hold, just kind of playing back and letting the star player kind of take initial contact, and they just have one player spotting B over here. So Donk's going to take any close fights that come out here. Shiro, Chopper, and Magix will be spotting these long range angles and letting Donk do pretty much all the heavy lifting, and they just have Zontix spotting for a fast B push. It looks like Fnatic are doing some kind of rush. I think Crims here is setting up flashes ready to come over. Crims is setting up a flash to come over here to blind all these site players to try and assist Blame F, Bermilov, and Matisse coming out of Pop Dog. Looks like Shiro instantly responded with a flashbang for main. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, so Donk gets full wired. Take contact. Donk and Magix clean up. So Magix has killed Fear coming out of main, and it looks like the other players have just focused on the E-box swing. As perfect as you could want it, really. All 5 players alive, your star player getting all the kills, setting up to have a goodbye. Nothing too crazy for a pistol round out of Fnatic, just a Pop Dog burst with some flashes. Could have been a bit more slow, but I think they just wanted to run the pace. This is actually Fnatic's map pick, so maybe they've got a lot of practice in this map, but maybe that was working for them in their practices. But obviously you're playing against the best team in the world at the moment, so, and Donk. So they've immediately started with a molly and a smoke. I think this smoke's thrown by Magix from spawn. Donk's throwing this molly, and there's been a flash thrown by Chopper. So their objective here is to get Chopper into main and to take this control. So their initial util is to throw a Molotov into main to stop any rush coming through. Magix is throwing this long smoke from spawn, and their objective here is to get Chopper into main behind the smoke so that he can play this close angle here. Donk has also thrown a flash to blind anyone who might be daring to push this Molotov on the smoke. Let's have a look, see how it goes. Okay, so they didn't actually go for the initial push into main. I think they are just testing the waters with this. The Chopper comes close, and they re-smoke deep into A main. They have Donk holding this angle here for anybody who could potentially be playing close behind the smoke. And then Chopper's holding this side here, ready for anyone who might try and take a jiggle peek or get some information. Same time, we have Magix kind of just going between these two angles. Now that they're getting close on main, and he knows that he can rely on Donk and Chopper together to at least trade each other. He's focusing on Ivy, which is good because Fear is here. Because they've got that main control, and Donk has not long checked Pop Dog, which was fully clear. Shiro's also now supporting Magix because they could be expecting a couple things here with around 40 seconds run down the clock. There could be an Ivy pop. They could have been walking to B, which is what Zontix is spotting for. They could be set up outside here, ready to burst. So currently, because they know that this area here is just full clear, these are the main areas that they could be coming from. And you can tell they immediately set up to get the information and eliminate the possibility that Fnatic will be coming through this route so that they can help support Zontix or Magix and Shiro if need be. This is a very good initiative from Donk and Chopper. As soon as Chopper takes full control of this area, Donk is going to immediately fall back and check back into Pop because they know that this is full clear. So they'll be communicating now, you know, be careful of an Ivy pop, be careful of a B pop because we have full A main control. I don't see into Long Dog now at all, so just be aware it's going to be some bursty play, which obviously they've only got Glocks. It's going to be some fast kind of explosive play with pistols. Creative angle from Donk, seeing on top of the E-box. When you swing this, most players are going to check floor level first, but this is a nice little off angle. If you swing too hard, you're going to end up peeking behind the box, and he has a perfect headshot angle on you. Yeah, just the verticality of these little parts of the map makes coming out of Pop Dog quite hard. So Chopper starts hearing this and Donk has immediately responded, getting close. So has Shiro, and so has Magix. Now this was a bait. The Fears just baited out some util, get them to focus on the A main section so that they can start working down towards B, which Zontix has actually fell back from now. Take a long range fight because he knows the clock is running down. They're gonna most likely burst out of B soon, or potentially pop dog now with the timing from this fake. So he needs to play a long range angle where he's not going to get overwhelmed by all 5 pistols. Okay, so Choppers went searching. 30 seconds left. He's full cleared A main. They know that it's not going to be any kind of A pop. They know it's either going to be pop dog, it's either going to be Ivy, or it's either going to be B, which has been quite telling all round. That is the basis of Spirit CT side, is just to make sure they take main control and force them into these other awkward tunnels, because coming out of main, you have a lot of space, there's a lot of different types of cover, and it's quite difficult to deal with once they get out and they can actually throw some decent Molotovs and smokes on site and such. With the time running so low, Zontix has thrown a Molotov to deny any kind of B rush on this timing, and then he's went to focus on Heaven. But Fnatic have opted to send all the players down pop dog, which Donk lies in wait for them on E-box. As soon as he gets this information, these 2 players here, Shiro and Zontix, have instantly responded. Magix is already supporting, and Chopper's on his way back to help. Donk gets 3 kills. And Magix cleans up. Okay, so immediately they've smoked and naded the smoke. Burst this. I think this is to try and let Shiro get a line on it and see if anyone's there. But the T's have thrown this smoke as well immediately, instantly. So Chopper's throwing a flash in there to try and deny vision to anyone who might have got out in this area. They can't hear any steps, so it is unlikely, but so yeah, quite similar to the last round. After this initial smoke, and Chopper has worked his way close to main, and Donk is still playing around the E-box. Shiro is supporting from the backlines here, and Magix is still taking control. It's quite a basic setup. So they have a set util take here for this. They throw a Molotov deep into this corner, flush anybody out. That way Chopper can hear if anyone's burning, and they smoke deep. That way Chopper may be able to capitalize on it, or at least get some information to give a tell at what they might be doing. At the same time, Shiro has actually thrown this flashbang, which bounces just off the red here, and would flash anyone who would have been burning and maybe would have tried to cross back out or escape somehow or go forward. So that would have flashed them, prompting Chopper to be able to maybe get a kill, or at least hear if someone runs away. So Chopper's actually taken main again. I think this is how Chopper wants to play this map, by taking main control mainly. But at the same time, on the other side of the map, the T's have in fact smoked and mollied, and Magix is responding by falling back and throwing a flashbang and a grenade, which actually dunks Matthias down to half health. At the same time, Donk is climbing up this ladder to get an off angle on Ivy and maybe spot anyone who pushes Magix through the gap here. And he can do that safely because he knows that Chopper has a main, and Shiro is just supporting, ready to spam through a smoke. Yep. So Shiro just spams the smoke to try and get a kill, and then Donk immediately goes into this off angle here to see if he can spot anyone trying to attack the backlines, which he does. Now Magix has that information to know, oh, someone's close to me, and just tuck in, and maybe they won't expect me in this corner. While that's happening, because they are coming backlines, Zontix has thrown a smoke on ramp here, just to deny anyone trying to sneak out whilst this pressure is being applied. They could be Heaven, but he will most likely turn his attention between these 2 angles. While Zontix is denying that entry on B, Magix actually gets a free kill here on Mattis, who just does not expect them to be in this corner. Pretty sure he's expecting them to be playing around this area to deny any kind of sort of long wrap. Just mustn't be used to this angle, especially with being pincered by these 2 players. So yeah, Mattis was under a lot of pressure to kind of figure out where he can play and where to expect him. Obviously, there's a lot of different angles that Magix could have been sort of playing in. Just any of these open angles, pretty much all an off angle. And unfortunately, Magix just gets the better of him there. So Shiro spots him as he's running away and comes back to get the kill, then instantly rotates to B because it could have been a B split, it could have been 3 players, up here ready to come out, and these two players needed to get in the back lines to sort of pinch the B site, but obviously that didn't work out. And we still have Chopper in A main, so they know it's not going to be A. It's not Ivy, we've just cleared it, so it's either going to be Pot Dog or it's going to be a B push, which when you have players coming down Ivy and no information on B at all, you can expect a heavy B. Instantly go into this setup of Shiro holding upper here, and then Zontic's just holding this lower area. Then we have this duel in A main. Just looks like the T's have no idea that Chopper can be in this position. Unlucky to only get the one, but it was good. 1 for 1. Fortunately, at the same time, Donk has went down to Crims here, in this angle, which has kind of left Magix on an island now. And now he knows the last two players can't be behind him. And both teammates come to support him, which Magix wins the duel. Okay, a little bit of a different start here. We have Chopper coming through Gap instead. Magic supporting him from Hell. And they're taking a more defensive position on B. Because they knew that they kind of half-bought last round. And they're not going to have a lot of money coming into this next round. They're expecting maybe something quick again. And because they haven't hit B fully yet, I assume this is why they're falling into this formation. Donk is just spotting this. With no information here at all. Usually does indicate they're going to walk towards B. Because of these initial smokes here and here, with them being instantly deployed, maybe they expected something quick, and that's why Magix came to instantly support Chopper. And Donk checked this, just to maybe play inside. If they come out, if they flash out, Chopper can tuck, Magix can tuck, and then Donk can kill them from the side, whilst also taking control of this and listening for any steps maybe coming towards B, which they currently have 2 set up on B for Shiro on Thomas, and Zontix is in heaven. So whilst Magix and Chopper went into this setup here, Donk actually heard Crims running down this way. So he immediately responded with a smoke to block off this area, which I believe prompted Shiro and Zontix to fall into this formation where they can hold ramp and heaven at the same time. And because of that smoke block and the fact that they know that Donk is playing this area, I think Donk takes it upon himself to rotate to B. Shiro then throws a flash for Zontix, and that ends up in a kill against Crims, and he gets traded immediately back. So after Zontix gets traded, Shiro falls back because they know that they're on pistols and they're probably going to change up the plan now. Because they had this information, they may have expected Spirit to rotate and set up for a B-pop against the pistols. Fnatic have fallen back. Unfortunately, Chopper just misses against Blame F, and Blame F wins that duel. So Donk then rotates into B with Shiro because A site is so clear and the clock is running down. They've got Magix close, playing behind the smoke. This is a bit of a gamble stack just to try and win the round. Donk's on an extremely powerful angle. Shiro can pretty much see everything from this position, mostly heaven, but you know, you can just jump up and help Donk fight if he needs, if they're pushing up ramp. The T's have a different idea. They are going to Ivy, which Magix has left because Chopper and Zontix are dead. They actually smoke heaven, expecting like a B-pop at this point, and Donk just posts on a weird off angle, ready, but at the same time, Fnatic are coming through back lines, just ready to pincer them. Holy shoot. And that missed shot from Bermilov actually alerts Donk to turn around and get the kill there, which I don't know why he shot, dude. I don't think he saw anything, to be honest. I think it might have been a mistake. And then Shiro gets the other kill. Wow. Sort of jumping kill from Mattis, but time runs out and Spirit win the round. So that was actually really well played from Fnatic to take that gap, especially with the kind of weird buy with hero AKs that they had. Unfortunately, Bermilov just gives away their position here, just shooting at something when players are tucked. I don't think he had vision on them at all. Yeah, if Donk isn't aware of them being behind them, maybe they win that round. Maybe they get the free kill on Donk, and Shiro may not expect the other players to be there so quick. Unlucky for Fnatic. Okay. So they're throwing the same util, mollying in main, throwing a smoke, throwing a grenade. Fnatic have immediately smoked these areas off, prompting a potential A push. Same time, Chopper is still getting close. clearing out main, methodically smoking this off, making sure there's a flash, molly in the deep corner. If anyone's blind, they're now going to be stood in molly. If they're still there, they're going to jump back, they're going to hit the tick damage. So far, from what I can tell, Spirit just really like taking a main control. It is a very powerful spot to take because it is the main fast choke point of the map. You know, if the T's want to come out fast A, they have to go this way. So, and it also provides a lot of information because you can hear any util being thrown around here, any steps around here. So they actually fall out of taking main because they played it a few rounds in a row. Yep. Chopper's gonna keep re-smoking main. At the same time, Magix is just making sure that Ivy is smoked off. We have an interesting setup on B site. So Zontix is holding the ramp push and Donk is holding heaven. They're going for a time play. Zontix is flashed in just to get any close information, see if they're bursting soon, which they're not. Because nothing has been spotted in this area and nothing's coming out here, they're going to go and assume that they're going to be pushing pop or main or Ivy soon. Bit of a messy round here, so Chopper does a lot of work here to create some sort of pressure on these players whilst they have Shiro alive, but unfortunately Shiro goes down after missing a couple of shots. He did hit one, but if he'd hit a couple more shots, Chopper's pressure would have been immense and they probably would have fell back and maybe have saved. Instead they get overrun and this gets smoked because they don't know the position of Magic, so they're expecting hell or backside here. And Magic just gets hunted down. Okay, and as we can see, because all of the rounds that Spirit have won, they've kind of been losing players every round. Unfortunately, their economy is just in the mud. Only Donk has a gun, well, a full rifle. There's a scout and Shiro, an SMG and 2 pistols. And it looks like Fnatic are taking advantage of that by coming out of A main fast because there is no fast util, there's no molly, there's no smoke, there's no flash to support it. And it looks like Spirit are aware of this because they're on such low economy. They've actually pushed up into ramp and have taken pop-out control. So okay, so unfortunately, Spirit didn't get any good timings, but Fnatic had a great strategy, capitalizing on the poor economy of Team Spirit. Just coming out fast, they knew that they're not going to have any money for this util here, and they just took advantage and cleaned house pretty much. So, great round from Fnatic. Staying alive with the guns, very important. Okay, so Fnatic know that the financials of Spirit aren't very good still, so they've actually taken advantage of their economy again. They've went for another fast play. This time they've sent Crims up here just to make sure that they're not getting pushed from this angle, so they don't have to worry about it and they can just focus on the players that are on site. And they have a double lurk coming through late after Fear and Blame have taken some space on the site. So yeah, another overall great round from Fnatic, just taking advantage of the economy, coming out fast, making sure that they get their smokes down and instantly can get into positions where they aren't going to be taken out by pistols and that they can trade each other, ready to wait for all kinds of flanks that they've got going on. Okay, so Fnatic are seeing if they can get away with this again. The nades haven't stopped them from coming in here. Fnatic have got some confidence now because they've won a couple of rounds by going fast, but now the economy is kind of back. They still have 2 SMGs, but they've got more rifles and they actually have an AWP out on the site now, which actually immediately goes down to Bermilov and Ivy. Fnatic tried to go fast again. Unfortunately didn't work out for them, so BlameF managed to get out but got in a smoke. He was flashed. Magix has taken him out through the smoke. Donk has just used his flash that has blinded BlameF and pushed behind, seeing that there was a molly coming out and just won the duel against Fear. Unfortunate for Fear, but you know, he was sat in a smoke pretty much just spamming and looking for BlameF. But meanwhile, Shiro has been taken out by Bermilov in Ivy, down I believe a very, very tight gap. So Actually, Shiro started on the right side here, and Bermlov just hit shot and Shiro missed, which is unfortunate. I believe they made this decision because Fnatic have been smoking these locations off early. Instead of having Magix with the rifle come in here, because they now have the economy for an AWP, he's going to be playing Hell to support the rush, which is exactly what happens. He manages to take out Blamef here. Unfortunately, Shiro goes down and leaves this gap open, but this seems to be how they play when the gap smoke and the mid-train smoke is coming down, so... A little bit of pressure on B from Crims, throwing a Molotov. Meanwhile, Magix is playing around this angle. Chopper just cleaning up shop, and now that they know the last player is towards B, could be Pop Dog, could be Ramp. Donk will get the kill. Okay, yeah, so because there's no gap smoke this round, Shiro's actually been able to start here and come back out onto the train, and he's blown the smoke to see if anyone's come out behind this because they haven't been able to take close yet. So Zontix has spotted an AWPer on B. He's managed to get away with his life, and Shiro has rotated. Spirit have taken main by smoking it. Magix is just holding a deep angle from backlines. Donk is just holding the Pop Dog smoke, and Chopper's just holding main. Every entranceway is locked down by at least one player. So Fnatic taking it very slow. They haven't thrown any flashes. They haven't made any presence in Pop or main. So it looks like Chopper's going to find some information, whilst Zontix and Shiro anchor B, because they know that an AWPer's this way, which when an AWPer is on the other side of the map, it gives you the opportunity to take advantage of searching these sort of long angles, because you know that the rotate is going to be quite long, you know, without hearing them rotate. Chopper's just gathering some information, which Faceit is aware of. Just him being in this position here gives them a lot of information that it's most likely not going to be an A hit or a pop push just yet, because they have no flashbangs, and nobody set up for any kind of util to come across and smoke any of the areas on the site. And then Chopper gets this information here, which immediately causes Donk to rotate back. Because there was no information in this area initially, Donk was going to rotate to B because it did look like a B's hit with the smoke coming down. But as soon as Chopper sees two of them walking in, I don't think he spotted the bomb at this time, but he did see two players coming in, which prompts Donk to rotate back, indicating it could just be an A pinch, which Chopper and Magix immediately capitalize on. Magix is super ready for the fight because of this information. Chopper gets a free kill in the back, and Mattis is taking Donk out when he was rotating back through to A. And now the bomb's dropped in A main, Chopper's behind red, and Shiro's going to be rotating here, so he can cover this side of red for Magix. So these two can set up a crossfire. They can set up a crossfire on this sort of angle here to deny T's presence. This smoke is not fantastic, but... yeah, so Magix gets this kill, and then Shiro covers him, and then it's just Crims left in a 1v4. So really, really great push by Chopper to get this information. Good fast rotation from Donk. Unfortunately, he just gets caught out just a second too slow before he could set up and be ready for the Pop Dog push. They may have heard him. I'm not entirely sure of the sound distancing from this area now on the new map. But yeah, then great rotation from Shiro just to support Magix and Chopper in the push from Pop as well. So immediately, with this smoke coming up, and this smoke coming up, Chopper has blown the smoke to try and get some early information, but there has been about 6 flashbangs over the top. So Chopper and Donk are full white, and they are expecting a full rush at this point, pretty much. Immediately, Shiro's coming to support Donk. Donk has this angle, and Magix has fallen off the Ivy angle to clear down Olaf. Unfortunately, because of the flashbang, I think Chopper didn't hear Mattis run through the smoke, and he's been able to get a free kill on Donk. Immediately, Chopper trades and gets Crims down to half. Somehow Shiro's been able to get 2 there. Fear and Blamef clean up sweet to take the round into their hands, leaving Magix in a 1v2. Setting in an off angle. Magix misses the shot. Unfortunate. Good round from Fnatic there, capitalizing on the flashbangs so that Chopper couldn't hear that. Diving through the smoke to get the kill on Donk. A little bit crazy how Shiro gets 2 kills there, but they're both traded out and they ultimately win the round. Very unfortunate from Chopper there. BlameF just lurks out the smoke and kills him. I think they were expecting something a bit faster. Donk has fallen back from his usual area of playing around here because of the last round of getting flashbanged. And Magix is supporting them, but their actual hit is over on B. Which, after Chopper goes down, they immediately swing and Zontix throws his molly, but unfortunately Counter-strafing molly sucks ass. What went wrong for them? Before Chopper died, Donk was actually going to rotate through to B, but after Chopper died, Donk went back all this way, and as this was happening, Zontix is being pushed and thrown a molly, so Magix and Donk are trying to deal with this player here, but Fnatic's actual intention was just to come down B, which has caught Zontix off guard because it was so quick after the kill, and he's kind of thrown like a jank molly. Yeah, so that molly doesn't fully reach, and Mattis is able to get a free kill. He's heard Shiro drop down. Shiro's just missed because he's falling off of oil. And Mattis is going on an absolute tear. Generally, nice round from Fnatic. Just a little bit unfortunate on Spirit side. You know, the lurk from BlameF was very good. Put Chopper off guard. I think he was kind of looking down for some flashes, so his crosshair wasn't head level to just try and avoid any flashes so he can maybe get a close kill, but that never came, and BlameF took advantage of that. Unfortunately, Donk's rotation just didn't come through straight away. If Donk had actually made this rotation instead of coming and then going this way, he might have been able to support Zontix or Shiro. Maybe not Zontix, maybe not, but more likely Shiro on the push from Mattis, and maybe that changes the round entirely, but yeah, just very unlucky really. Okay, a little bit of a switch up this round. So they've insta-smoked and mollied this area off to stop a rush, so they'd have to push through smoke and then get burnt. Chopper's held it for a second, and now they're doubling up in Pop Dog. So Chopper is baiting for Donk. He's going to be jiggling this here and baiting so that Donk can get a kill. Shiro has actually pushed very far into Ivy in this corner here, and Magix is just holding a very tight angle to try and get a spot, maybe get a kill. If he doesn't get a kill, Shiro can immediately swing and get the kill. Zontix is just starting this little angle here on ramp. Okay, so Chopper blocks A main, and they decide, you know what, we're gonna go find some information, let's go push. Chopper using himself as kind of bait for Donk. Anything? Immediately anyway. Spot one, Chopper takes quite a lot of damage when he could have maybe avoided all of that damage. But it's kind of scared Fnatic off, and they're kind of pulling back towards A main. I like this from Donk and Chopper. They're kind of grouping up and re-aggressing. So their pop venture was unsuccessful, but this time they're going to get into main again. I think this is really good from Chopper. That's crazy. I thought he was gonna sit in the corner and wait, but no, they actually, so Chopper and Donk actually took the initiative on this fight, which is crazy, but it worked out. They got 2 free kills. You know, Shiro and Magix are ready. Zontix is in a very easy rotate spot, and they get 2 free kills with, you know, what was an MP9, and I think Donk had an AK, but they've taken 2 AKs out of the game for an SMG and a rifle, so it's a pretty good trade. They've got information on, you know, where the other players are, so the rest of the CTs kind of have an inkling of what's going to happen next, because there's only 30 seconds left on the clock as well. It's more than likely going to be an A pop from this point onwards. Magic's getting there early, gets a tag on Fear. And then some really nice spray control from Fear to get the last 2 kills. I think Fear's a really good addition to Fnatic. I was a little bit surprised when he left Passion UA, but yeah, great recovery from Fnatic. That was a good little push from Donk and Chopper. Maybe they could have got more. Maybe Donk could have got another kill. Bit of a weak half from Donk, you know, considering Donk. Good half from Magix and Shiro. Shiro's hit some great shots and then missed some sitters, so Shiro would be in Shiro, but let's see what their T side says. So here are the stats from the first half. You know, Magic's having good impact. Ends up saving quite a few rounds. Donk with a good cast. You know, he's trading and making sure that he's assisting his teammates, as we've seen in quite a few rounds where he's doubling up with Chopper, making sure that he's taking main. You know, the pop push from last round. And then we've got Mattis having a really fantastic half on T side, especially that B round where he kind of just ran down and steamrolled Zontix and Shiro, and then like that last round with Fear, some really good shooting out of him. So yeah, at this point 6-6, pretty equal game. Clearly Fnatic have had some good practice, and so Spirit. I do like Spirit's philosophy so far, at least what Chopper's vision is, with kind of, you know, taking a key choke point on the map, and then if they hear nothing for a while, make a push into pop, make a push into Ivy, have Zontix sort of checking upper heaven, upper halls, and just sort of trying to get these little tidbits of information, because the rotations in this map are so long. I think just these tiny like info plays are kind of massive, and because Pop Dog isn't just a ladder with 2 steps out anymore, you know, it's a big long corridor. It gives a window for these rotates now, so we'll see how they do on T side. So immediately, Chopper's setting up a smoke and a flash, and we have Shiro, Donk, and Magix running down Ivy, and Zontix is wrapping around. It looks like the smoke is coming in as soon as they take contact. Donk immediately domes Bermilov. Chopper's going to flash main to try and scare off anyone who might have been close. It does actually blind Fear. Oh, and Zontix actually isn't going to wrap Pop Dog. Mattis actually has this information, and Blame F is already in. So it looks like they're going to try and wrap B. Zontix actually gets this pick on Mattis here, which prompts Blame F to come up. But meanwhile, Donk and Magix are actually wrapping 2B. So this has worked out very well for them. Shiro manages to catch Fear through the smoke here after just walking it. Unfortunate for Fear, but so far really well executed pistol round from Team Spirit. Don't think Zontix is expecting Blame F to be here right now. Unfortunately, stuff like he will go down. Magix trades, and Donk finishes off the last kill. Nothing special, but you know, it looks like they have a set plan for leaving Zontix to lurk in this area, letting 3 players wrap around here, smoking this off and getting through, and then at the same time Chopper is pulling distraction by throwing a smoke and a flash from T-base. Right, really interesting play so far. So they've sent Donk and Zontix super fast, making lots of noise. This has prompted Crims and Fear to come and try and take this duel. It looks like they're going to pinch with Blame F and Mattis, so obviously there's no demos out, so I think this was just a fantastic call from Fnatic to try and capitalize on these players, you know, making so much noise and coming through fast. But it does leave Bermilov alone on the site, so as soon as these take contact with these 4 players, the A site is pretty much going to be theirs for free, and they're just going to have to defend, you know, this choke point quite early. If they all rotate through there, then it's pretty bad. So they're gonna have to defend this choke point early and then wait for, you know, there's gonna be quite a long rotate on players later in the round. Okay, so Zontix actually gets 2 players there with the Mac 10, which is crazy, and then he gets instantly traded out. Magix has the bomb. I think this was a bit of a mistake. Donk should have called that there was 2 here, and if Donk didn't call it, Zontix certainly will have. You know, he got swung by 2 of them. I think this is just a massive overextension from Magix. A bit of a mistake. Obviously, this is a new map and mistakes are going to be made, but I think that individual choice was just a bit bad, to be honest. I'm not sure if Fnatic were aware that the bomb was down there, to be honest, because maybe the bomb drop sound was masked in all of the commotion, but they seem to be quite unbothered. I've taken a, you know, they have wrapped back around heaven, so maybe they are aware of it, and I'm just talking up my arse. So I think this is just a poor understanding of this angle from Fear. The further away from an angle you actually are, the sooner that you're going to be able to see someone's like leg sticking out. So Fear has this kind of cone vision here, but if you stand here, you know, you're going to be able to see pretty much all of his legs and his arms sticking out. So had Fear sat in this corner, maybe he wouldn't have been spotted, and Shiro wouldn't have this free kill. Now, do they expect the second player in Crims? No, they do not, but they actually get the plant, which is great for their economy. Okay, so we have a hero AK on Zontix, and we're looking at a towards the B site. All 5 players are actually going here. Good little molly to just clear out this section here, if anyone's playing there. Clears out any kind of possible immediate flank that they might be having from Popdog. And I believe that Fnatic are aware of this because they have smoked ramp and heaven at the same time. So steps have been heard from Blameup and Mattis. They are expecting something towards B. Okay, so we have Magic's lining up a smoke here. Does look like it is for the sort of backlines bomb train area. And then Shiro's just setting up some flashes for his teammates to go out. Fortunately, I think they've been a bit too slow with this because CT side are actually re-aggressing Popdog. So they've actually waited out the smoke that they had and kind of missed the timing to burst out B. Donk gets 1 kill, and that's a second kill. It's just really unfortunate for Fnatic, really. Losing an AK and an MP9 against pistols is, you know, it's quite devastating, and it has immediately pulled the rotate of 2 players back to A site. So depending on how Chopper deals with Crims here, it may be a free site. Yeah, double swing from the T's. Team Spirit. And Zontix just cleans up. Unfortunately, just a skill difference there. Donk getting the first kill, and then the other Popdog players not being able to capitalize on the timing that they found. It's a bit of a shame for Fnatic, to be honest, because they actually read that quite well. You know, they had 2 players set up on B site ready, and had they gotten that first kill, maybe they end up surprising the others and getting more there. But very unfortunate. Good recovery from Team Spirit, though. Yeah, looks like immediately just having 1 player upper, just taking upper, and Shiro and Donk are going to Popdog. Magic's is going to search and just make sure that Ivy isn't getting pushed, whilst Chopper sets up util for Donk, Shiro, and eventually Zontix to come back and burst out A. Now, because Fnatic's economy is so weak right now, they only have pistols and some SMGs and a scout. They've opted to just play on A site, and you know, they have a double setup on Ivy here, playing Fear in this angle with Bermalov taking contact. We saw this from Team Spirit themselves, Shiro and I think it was Shiro and Magic's. Magic's had the AWP that round though, Shiro with the MP9. So a good little bait and switch setup there, just to maybe get a free kill on Ivy, but Magic seems to be aware of it. And instead of going B, they've actually just stacked the rest of their players onto the A site to try and get some picks with the weaker weapons. Molly from Chopper here for the Z angle, and Mattis is just playing very close. Let's see if Donk expects this play. So Shiro was jiggle peeking, and Donk was just playing close, so that's super hard to clear. The CT has to swing very wide in and really get into Popdog to start attacking him. And Shiro can just support him and trade him if need be. Looks like Chopper found the timing on Ivy and has taken both the players out. Donk just donks and comes out and headshots everybody. Pretty decent round overall. Nothing too crazy, you know, just taking up a control, making sure there's no push immediately, and then, you know, methodically taking pop and just playing off each other, ready to swing if a push does come into pop. Chopper throwing early util to, you know, distract, make sure that they're not fully focused on pop with all 5 players. Magic's just making early distraction, they're coming back, and then Chopper with the 2 kills at the end. Just great anti-eco, really. So a little bit of a fast around from Donk and Shiro here. Does look like the sandwich smoke is up here. They've immediately mollied. So sandwich and gap smoke is up. They've immediately mollied this area, and they've taken A main control. There has been absolutely no util response from Fnatic. There hasn't been a flash, there hasn't been a nade, there hasn't been a smoke or a molly from any angle. So with the flashes, Chopper's been able to just sort of send Shiro and Donk out to search, which is going to work in the favor because it is a beast stack. And very intelligently, they all go and save down Ivy instead of backing up into T-spawn. A little bit lucky, you know. Fnatic just gambled that it was going to be B. As soon as Shiro and Donk saw that there was, you know, no util resistance at all, they just took the space immediately, no hesitation, and Chopper threw flashes straight away. So they seem to be quite drilled on this, but you know, when the pressure's on, it may be a little bit different. But yeah, looking good so far. Okay, so immediately they've smoked Gap, they've smoked Sandwich, and Fnatic are playing a very, very heavy A setup. They've forced the issue here, so they've smoked the Molly. Magix is already out. Donk smoked it, and they're ready. They're getting ready to join him outside. Donk gets a nice kill on Mattis. Blamek and Bermalov get trades. And then they cancel, so their initial push didn't work. Unfortunately, all 5 players for Fnatic were stacked over on this site, so it does make sense. You know, a lot of util came raining down their way. They got spammed quite a lot, and unfortunately 2 players fell early, and now they've cancelled. So let's see what they go into here. Running down the clock a little bit. Fortunately for Fnatic, they've actually bitten on the fact that none of the players have continued pushing out for 10 or 15 seconds and are now fully committed into B. Unfortunately, Chopper goes down to Fear in backlines. Yep. So, I mean, overall, great round from Fnatic. Spirit did seem a little bit lost. That it did look like they wanted to just come out fast, but unfortunately, all 5 Fnatic players were stacked up here. After Spirit had cancelled, Fnatic actually went into B and pushed B to get that information, see if they were rotating, where they were not. So they come back down, pop together, and take out the pinch the players with Fear. I think it's actually a pretty good setup from Fnatic. A little bit dangerous, you know. If Fear goes down, if there's a lurk from Ivy, or if someone hits a nice shot, they pretty much have the site for free. Obviously they're not going to know that immediately, but it gives them a lot more space and could potentially be a round to throw if it goes wrong. So yeah, it pays off this time. We'll play for Fnatic. Okay, it looks like a very similar round again, except Donk's gone out first instead of Magix. Looks like Magix is setting up flashbangs for their push out. Fortunately, Donk has been absolutely naded to high heaven by all 4 players of Fnatic, so that is just very unfortunate, but I suppose it is a very good way to deny a super fast rush. So Zontic's actually managed to get out. They mustn't have heard him. Unfortunately, nobody was hell or playing backlines because they stacked so heavy on the site that nobody could get kind of any information to see if anyone was out, and Mattis has just been caught off guard. That was just some miscommunication from Fnatic there, but a very nice kill from Zontic. Okay, so Chopper and Shiro have been walking up B whilst Zontix and Magix kind of pull the distraction of these 3 players, and ultimately Crims as well because he's fallen back and is worried about Ivy because they have absolutely no presence in there again. Magix has thrown smoke here, they've mollied site, so it's kind of pushed all the players off site, so they can expect them to be around this area when they peak. Fortunately, Zontix gets caught off guard. Don't think it's going to matter because Chopper and Shiro are out on B site. Now Magix may be able to get a kill through his lurk. He's heard Fear, so yep. And now it's looking rather unwinnable. Both players being in CT spawn and backlines. It's pretty much secured the round, just getting that kill there from the lurk for Magix. So. So initially they tried to flash A to kind of indicate that they're doing an A rush, but Chopper misses his flash, so I don't think that was fully sold. Magix and Donk have run straight to Pop Dog, and they're just spamming the smoke that the CTs have lit up there. Almost every single smoke from the CTs has been used by now. So Ramp, Pop Dog, Main, and Ivy have just all been smoked off with 1 minute 20 left on the clock. They don't have many options to block anymore, so they're gonna have to push and find some information information out soon. And they know at least 2 players are here, Magix and Donk, but the rest are unknown. Just the way that kind of CT train is played, you do dump a lot of util early, just because the A main rush is so powerful. If you get a player like Donk swinging on you immediately, it's going to be quite difficult to defend. So I can understand why they've dumped all their smokes, but at the same time, maybe Ivy could have been held a bit longer. Maybe the ramp smoke could have been held a bit longer instead of just throwing it immediately. So now that they've got control, Magix and Donk are playing this setup again where Donk hides and Magix will just jiggle for a peek. Because any CT that comes in has to come in really far to clear Donk. So in the time that Magix has to jiggle back and forth, he will definitely spot a CT, and then Donk can just swing and get the kill if Magix doesn't get the kill. And if Magix dies, he can trade immediately. So I really like this setup in Pop Dog. I think it'll probably become the meta. Mattis expected it, but Magix was also there to support. And just that kill alone has pulled Fear back from B and Crims towards Connector. So with the bomb coming towards B, it's not looking very good for Fnatic at the moment. So they held for a long time, and then Chopper has thrown 2 flashes over the site, and then Spirit just held for a few seconds, which made Fnatic doubt themselves, and Zontix has thrown 1 flash here, which has actually made Crims come deep and Fear rotate through to Con. So now it is a 5v2 on the A site. So really good job at splitting up the players there. Shiro and Chopper, 2 kills on the site, and then, yep, just take the run. Super good fake out for, you know, like a late round exec. Just faking out flashes, holding for a second to give the enemies the idea that, oh, maybe it's not A, maybe it's going to be B. As soon as they've left that break, Zontix throws a flash and sprints down, Pop Dog ready to support his teammates on A. This flash that Zontix throws really sells the idea that they're just doing a late B pick, and they just have 1 player here just throwing some flashes as a fake, which unfortunately Fnatic bit. So early util coming out from Team Spirit. Crims, Mattis, and Blamer have a set strat here where Crims is going to come up. I think because of the molly, he's come up a little bit too quick because Blamer and Mattis are still quite far away. And fortunately, he is just left on an island. I think he should have waited at the bottom of the flames here, but has just kind of pushed out of desperation. And Donk has got that kill. Now Donk is immediately expecting this pincer from Pop Dog. Yeah, a really good idea from Fnatic to try and get back into the round. However, yeah, Crims just kind of exploded a little bit too early. Should have hit behind the molly here. Should have waited for Team Spirit to come down a little bit so that they could pinch together. So Donk's going to search on his own. Blamer will get the kill. Okay, so some really good shots from Bermilov this round. The set play worked out really well, even though Crims kind of died early. Maybe this is part of the plan. Probably not. You know, you'd rather your players be alive than be dead, so maybe this kill baits them in. But Team Spirit seemed very aware of what could be happening, and unfortunately it just didn't go their way. And Bermilov's hitting some really nice scout shots, and I believe they will ultimately win the round. Bit of a silly deal to take their Magix, mate. Okay, so it seems like the basis of Spirit's T side is to have 1 player holding Ivy, 1 player holding main, and then 3 players kind of taking this upper area just to control B push, and then 2 players doing that setup into Pop Dog. Seems to be the way to play at the moment, other than grouped pushes and stuff. Magic's actually getting a kill here, which pulls the Pop players out, and they're just going to come back and defend this line because he's smoked, which means there could be more players coming through backlines here. Puts a lot of pressure on Crims to kind of pull him and make sure that he holds B down here. Okay, so we waited around for quite a long time here. So this push from Bermilov and Mattis with 30 seconds left on the clock and Blame are having main, and they've just all triple checked Ivy together. Kind of gives them the idea that it's going to be a B push, and they actually both rotate just before the push actually does come through. Not fully just before, but just fast enough so that these players that rotated can get 3 kills, which is unfortunate for Team Spirit. I think they just needed to kind of go on a faster timing there. I think they were a little bit kind of stuck, kind of deciding when to go, but so again, Donk and Zontic's taking upper. Magix and Shero this round are actually searching Ivy together. And Donk being Donk, it's an early kill on Blamer, who is entering for once. Crazy. Because he's not playing the bait switch, the bait setup with another player back here, he is actively jiggling. So if you are alone, copy Donk. Incredible timing on Chopper here to come downstairs as Crim speaks. That could have been very bad for them. Crim's, you know, he put Zontix down to 10 health. Could have went the other way pretty much here, and that might have decided this game really. Yeah, just a double swing into a single player, and then just a straight up aim deal. So I think the key takeaways for this map with Team Spirit on CT side, try and take something, make an info play. If it's having a main control, if it's slowly looking up Ivy on a timing, or having a player just jiggling pop dog to make sure that nobody is, you know, in there, having a player heaven on B, just taking a little peek, see what's going on, having someone down here just spotting with a molly ready. Small early info peeks really make a difference into being able to sort of read where the enemy's going to be. I think the A main one especially is super important if you're on a team, or you know, if you just play with a couple of friends in pugs and stuff. I think just being able to have the util set to molly, flash and smoke off B main so that you can take control and find information out on a timing will help you win a lot more games, to be honest. And for T side, Spirit's default is just one player sort of taking Ivy on a timing, whether that be immediately or just lurking around the area, just making sure it's not being pushed, and then having Chopper just throwing flashes and all different util for different points on the site, having, you know, the main riflers taking upper B halls and just holding for push, setting up, making sure that they don't lose control of this area. It's super important. It's pretty much the other half of the map, because if someone has control of this, they most likely have control of this, and they could be all through upper. So the doubling up inside of Pop Dog, super cool. You know, the hard clear, it's very hard for them, so they can pretty much keep control of this unless there's some crazy flashes that are like pixel perfect, or, you know, Molotovs that push them out. But other than that, yeah, the fast pushes didn't really work too well. There was one round where it did, but unfortunately it was kind of denied by 4 grenades, and Fnatic kind of having to stack the site. So a little bit unlucky. Maybe if a team plays a different way, that'd work, but because there was 5 players on site there, I don't think they were getting away with that. So yeah, overall a great game. I think it's still very early with strategies on this map and how it's going to be played, so I think things may change, but I think we've had a good insight here on what works and what doesn't. I especially like Fnatic's kind of like grouping tactic, where they'll stick together and go as a pack in certain areas to clear things. A little bit like Donk and Chopper did early on CT half, but it was good. I think it just needs a little bit of work. Some of their timings were bad. So overall, I'm really happy to see Train back in the map pool. I'm sad the Vertigo's gone personally. I actually really like the map, but there's a lot of haters out there. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens from now on with Train. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before Valentine's Day, so hit subscribe if you can. And if you'd like to see any more pro demos or analysis, or just my take on how a team plays and what I think is cool, what you should use in your own gameplay, then please leave a comment down below. If you have any specific games that you want me to cover, like there's a specific team or a specific player that you want me to watch to kind of dissect and break down into useful chunks of information that you can use in your own gameplay, yeah, just leave a comment. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice day, morning, evening, wherever you are. Goodbye.